And then you're like, I don't even know if I want to be with her anymore because she didn't puke. It's just like, all like, I'm just making this up the top of my head, but it's like stupid shit like that. And I'm fucking the stool, like, yeah. And I fucked a girl that stuttered, and I don't know if she was going to come or just trying to tell me something. Phone's ringing. That was an actual joke. And then Dane goes up and goes, remember when you were a kid, your mom would come in and make your bed? And I was like, what? And he goes, yeah, she get that big sheet. It's all humid in the room. And with just his arms, he throws his arms out. And I saw the sheet, bro.
Yeah. And
he goes, it just hovered out there for like 5 minutes. And he just kept his arms out like this. And I'm standing in the back of the Laugh Factory, and Dane's just, and every once in a while he wiggles his arms to get the crinks out of the sheet.
Yeah.
And I'm looking at the sheet, like I'm imagining it all, and I'm doing the whole thing, and I realized this guy's, right now, this guy's much better than I am. But that's the thing with comics. It's like, I'm going to come back and bury this guy.
Yeah, I mean, especially coming out of New York, you know, there was a feeling. Boston, and which you spent a fair amount of time in Boston. You were never a Boston comic, but you spent a lot of time there doing sets.
With Chappie and Cato. Steve, it's time to
Cato
go.
With the Wandering Eye and the Wandering Hands. And Anthony Clark.
Oh, I don't fucking believe it. God, he killed so hard.
He used to destroy. And I remember one night, it was me, you, and Anthony. And we're working at some shit gig outside the city that Barry Katz booked.
Hey, man, if you want it, you have to leave now. It pays $1. You have to pick up Jay Mohr at JFK. Do you want it?
I'll take it.
It's been canceled.
Love it. So you were the feature act, and you fucking decimate. You're this young kid out of New York. You got a show on MTV. You're waxing your balls. You're the shit.
MTV shirts.
Killing
I shaved my eyebrows down the middle, so I don't have a unibrow.
You had biceps but no calves. And then,
well, I think you got that a little backwards there, Greg. Not for nothing. Always had the calves.
Oh, you were a soccer player, right?
Nah, I wrestled pivot foot when you punch is the calf.
Oh,
the whole punch comes up from under the toe.
Yeah. I just pictured you as one of those guys who lifted a lot of weights at one point in your life, and I didn't know if you had the leg work.
Yeah, at 30.
Yeah.
At 30 years old, I did it. So Anthony closed.
So you destroy, and then you kind of looked at Anthony, and then he went up and just made you look like a fucking Buddhist. Like somebody who had said nothing.
I can't believe how long you waited for that word, and it was perfect.
I went through 3 religions, then I landed on Buddhist.
He made you look like a rabbi, and not the same.
It wasn't right.
It makes people go,
rabbis can get laughs.
I don't know.
Yeah.
Is it funny? If it bends, it's funny.
Yeah. Baptist minister, they may not destroy, but there's rhythm.
And when the Lord said, rise up, can I get an amen? What's with the witch?
I'm buying a CD after the show. I'll buy a CD from that guy. Anyway, so then he got off stage.
He's going to be in the parking lot selling them anyway.
He goes, maybe next time, Jay.
That's the thing. But when Anthony said things like that, it was so, I'm not joking. It was incredibly endearing. He was always super
great
waterlogged, I guess would be one way to put it.
He liked a cocktail or two.
Yeah. And then he had great bits. I remember the one bit he said, people are so dumb. I'm going to start a game show called I Don't Fucking Believe It. And go, this is Madge. Do you remember this whole bit?
Yeah.
I'll truncate it for the listeners, though. But Anthony Clark.
Where are you from, Madge? Rancho Cucamonga?
Yeah, it says here in my notes, Madge, you are not retarded. Is that correct, Madge?
That is absolutely 100% correct. I am certified not retarded.
Well, step up to the lucky wheel, sweetheart, because I don't fucking believe it. And it was my favorite bit he ever did. His impression of that lady. Like, yes, that's right, Chuck. 4 tests that have proven me not retarded.
Yeah.
And he was one of those guys that went up and killed so hard. But, like, also in Boston, you had, like, Don Gavin, Steve Sweeney. Like, guys, it was like having an Uzi in a phone booth when these guys went up on stage. I was with Gavin in St. Thomas. 2 weeks in St. Thomas with Gavin. How fun could that have been?
That's amazing.
That guy walked...
He's not afraid of a cocktail either.
No. And he's also... I've never seen anything like it where some guys, they hit the stage and they're so goddamn funny before they talk. And they're not wearing goofy shit and their shirt doesn't say like Tickle Me Elmo or stupid shit. He would walk on stage in this ballroom at a hotel. Now we're on the island of St. John. Like we're island hopping. And I'm opening for him. And I'm just like, wham, wham, wham. You get a finger in your butt in a blowjob. Ah. Oh, sorry. I was supposed to work clean. And then Don goes up, literally walks on stage and goes, just starts playing with his belt a little bit. And goes, thank you for asking. Done.
Right.
Thank you for asking.
I got it at a little men's shop called CR's.
Sears. I think it's what you call it, sis.
And then, and nothing is, it's almost like he's saying, I can't be bothered hitting a punchline, so I'm going to talk, and I'm going to just lightly toss words out of my mouth that make you fucking
hate salad bars. All the good shit's in the back.
Up front, you got the croutons.
There's lobster claws in the back. It's giving me the claw. Was that Panette?
No, that was him.
Yeah. How long you been doing your podcast? No, let's go back to San Francisco. What do you want to talk about? What's your bag?
My bag right now is my father-in-law is staying with us. And he is a Freudian
sex
Marxist.
with his daughter.
I'm having sex. No, that's the thing is like I can't have sex with her when he's there, which I don't care about that. But he's a Freudian Marxist, and everything he says is seen through the prism of like a Stalinist fucking. He's a hippie, and he graduated number 2 from Yale in 1959, and he had the Alger Hiss chair at Bard College, one of the most liberal. Basically, Ivy League schools. Brilliant fucking dude.
But hippie and Marxist to me is incongruous.
Why?
Because Marxism is like such a set of beliefs. And hippie's like, hey, man.
Well, I think it's about sharing. Both are about sharing, and they're about fighting the man.
And how'd that work out for Stalin?
How'd it work out for the hippies?
I'm in Topanga Canyon, bro. I see them every day. They don't seem to. I'll tell you one thing: it's cold as balls out here. They don't seem to be walking around barefoot. It doesn't mind them. I can't talk.
No, but
I'm on a Z-Pack for strep throat.
You know,
I don't want the listeners to think I'm. I almost said something. I almost sold one of our guests out.
You got a.
It's
a beautiful fucking sweater on, man.
So when you're Marxist, Freudian, first of all, Freud was like a cokehead.
Yeah.
And like, you know, if you dream about a train going in the tunnel, it means you want to fuck your mom. Like, well, no one dreams about a train going in the tunnel. We all dream we're running from something or falling.
Or I dream about fucking.
Yeah, but do you ever come in your dream when you dream about fucking? Or do you wake up?
I've never had a wet dream in my life, and I feel cheated.
I don't think I have either. Have you, Matty Boy?
Not recently.
Not today.
But you've had a wet dream in your life.
Yeah.
How did you know it was a wet dream? Do you wake up? Gosh! Like, how would you know? If you had a wet dream at 1 a.m. and woke up at 9, are you like, hey, what's this tiny spot now that I'm staring at the inside of my underpants?
Yeah, does it force you to wake up when you have a wet dream?
The only way that I know is because that day I was in a train that went through a tunnel, so I figured
Yeah. I wonder how many people jerk off in trains when they go into tunnels.
For a not comic, that's tight. You got to keep a body
on this kid. Delivery is good.
It's good stuff.
No, it's solid, but I don't know if we can hear him because he doesn't have a microphone.
Have you heard it all? Don't these activate? Because the listeners don't like when people are yapping off mic. So we either lean into it or zip it, but hopefully don't zip it because what you say is really funny.
Maybe there's a funny joke about that. Like there was a big Freudian convention in Vienna, and there was a number of people coming from Belgium on a train, and when they went into a tunnel, they all started jerking off. Write that up as a New Yorker cartoon.
To their mothers.
To their mothers. Yeah, they all pulled out pictures of their mothers.
Hold on, they had a tag for you. To their mothers. While smoking cigars. That's pretty.
And doing coke. That's good.
That's pretty good. I like it a lot.
No, the thing about Freud is he's one of those guys that like, you know, had everything wrong, but he shook it up. He said, how about we all think about things in a totally different way? Everything's sexual. You want to fuck your mother. You want to kill your dad. It's there in the literature. We saw it with Oedipus. It's this sort of like archetypal plot structure. It's all there, and he points it out. And now you look back and you go, yeah, he was wrong about, rape and homosexuality. He was wrong about all of it.
No, they're there.
Are you serious?
There's rape. There's homosexuality.
Is there homosexual rape?
Oh, yeah.
Never have I heard about a guy getting raped outside of prison or a frat house. Like, guys don't get raped by other guys. Ever.
Well, what's the Twitter address for yourself?
At Greg Fitzsimmons. Why?
If people want to send you photos of them raping other men, they could send it your way.
What if they Photoshop it?
All right, yeah. Photoshop photos to me and Greg.
That would be really
of you
cool.
and your buddies raping each other.
Yeah.
That's really what I want my timeline filled with. I did a whole thing about the Hall of Fame, and somebody said, I'm in the Hall of Vain, signed Ron Jeremy. And then my whole timeline on the mentions page was people sending me like Iggy Pop pictures, like he's in the Hall of Fame, he's in the Hall of Fame. So these people that listen will get after you with pictures of guys.
You have like OCD listeners.
Yeah,
Perverted
but they're
OCD.
just, I mean, that's the O&A, the Opie and Anthony listeners, the pests. They will like fill your inbox with just dick pictures, like just crush your inbox with, if they go, it'd be terrible if somebody sent a dick picture to Greg's Facebook page.
What about Twitter?
Do
Can you send you can send photos to Twitter.
Unless you're like a congressman, then it's probably bad to send pictures of your penis.
Have you ever taken?
I gotta go a picture of my own dick.
Yeah.
No, actually, I never have. I don't believe I have.
I don't understand why anybody does that.
No, I'm damn sure I did.
I never took a picture of my dick.
Huh?
I've never videotaped myself having sex with anybody.
I videotaped myself having sex with you, but you didn't know it. It was in the closet behind the Care Bears.
So there is homosexual rape.
Well, that's what would you call that night?
I would imagine.
If it was you and I, and you don't remember the Care Bear night?
It was a Care Bear, and there was a train, and
We were all smoking cigars.
Here we
Your mom
go.
was there. My wife just came in and had some baby laundry and baby shoes. We don't have a kid. She just gambles a lot, and those are the people she gambles with.
whatever. She took everything, literally.
Baby laundry, baby shoes. This is my friend Baby Shoes, and this is my friend Baby Laundry. We're going to Moronga Casino. We want to go see the Barbra Streisand impersonators.
That's where I was today. Jesus Christ! It's bleak
So-
out there.
Yeah, and then you had a good point. I wish I had shoes like that are still Velcro. They don't make really Velcro shoes for adults. And I've been thinking about this for so long. My son puts these socks on, or I got to put his socks on. It's like 18 months, and that sticky stuff on the bottom so he
Yeah.
doesn't wipe out and crack his head open.
Yeah.
Why did that ever stop?
Why'd it stop?
I'm chasing puppies around the house, like pulling my hip muscles and,
Right.
my torn patellar tendon. I
Not
don't
only
know.
that,
my
but
lateral collateral.
you got a
torn.
sock. You got a basic tube sock, and it doesn't have a bottom or a top, right? You're always going to use there is a bottom.
If you make a bottom.
If you make a bottom, you got a bottom. Then you got to commit to that bottom, or else you got a dark.
Right, but I'm not going to have sticky shit on the top of my foot. I'm not
That's
some
my
crazy.
point.
I'm not a
if
poor,
you're going to
you know.
walk on one side of it, why not reinforce that side of it? Why is
So
the
we agree.
strength? Why is the strength of the top of the sock the same as the underside when you're not walking on that part of the sock?
I think they want it to be so no matter when you put it on, that's the walking side. There's no wrong. It's just a tube. Just a tube.
Yeah, but you
But
will
you and I
find that
agree.
side. You will find the darker
It's-
side and put it
it's like,
down.
It's like dropping toast on the floor, butter down. Always.
Yes.
Yeah. So you and I agree. We should put buttered toast on the top of the sock.
I don't mean to brag.
Or
I don't mean
boast.
to boast. But we like hot butter on our breakfast toast. One of the greatest rap lyrics. I don't know why, but it's one of the greatest rap. It was a Sugar Hill Gang, right?
I guess. I'm not familiar with that particular one, but I've heard Beastie Boys bite off of that. I don't mean to brag. I don't mean to boast, but I'm intercontinental when I eat French toast.
Yeah.
And you're like, wow, you guys aren't even really trying, are you? For my radio show, we do Hip Hop Fridays, which consists of nothing except there's just hip hop music coming in and at a break.
Yeah.
And you know this. You can play 30 seconds before you have to pay for it.
Is that right?
Yeah. So I'm in my car driving around, and my iPod is just hundreds and hundreds of songs, hip hop songs, right? I mean, it's like an 8-year-old iPod. I couldn't find more than like 10 hip hop songs where they didn't say the N word in the first 30 seconds.
Yeah.
And I'm like, are you guys fucking kidding me?
Wu-Tang.
30 Wu-Tang's one I could.
Yeah, there's a lot of Wu-Tang songs you can play.
Yeah. They bury it in the end when ODB comes in.
That's right.
Or he just does nonsense. Shimmy Shimmy Yaws in the beginning of the show. But RZA doesn't really say it. But they'll say it when they're talking, when the song's like Outkast. I really wanted to play Outkast on my show. It's like, yeah, you know what's always be hollering about peace of mind, this, my, and I'm like, what? Busta Rhymes, same thing.
Yeah.
Every other word. And I'm like, you know what? I might have to put this down for a little while.
Yeah, I mean, Biggie's lyrics
To
were
all my
so-
Bronx bleeps.
I mean, he was fucking brutal. No matter how much of a genius you might think the guy is, I'm sorry, I don't fucking want to hear that much N-word.
We can't even say it on a podcast for free that goes on the internet, even in the context that black men are saying it. That's how upside down everything is right now. Brent Musburger ESPN issues a goddamn apology for Brent Musburger, the announcer for ESPN, because during a blowout loss to Alabama, Notre Dame loses by like 40 points in the championship game, they show the quarterback's girlfriend in the stands.
Oh, yeah.
And he goes, hey,